Welcome and thank you to listening to the Bring Your Own Boys podcast, episode 2. Thank you to everybody who listened to episode 1, and if any listeners are new, welcome. We got me, Kevin Redfield, Chris Anir, and my boy Matt Abatoy out here on the deck. Chris, take it away.
All right, guys. So we got a pretty spicy Would You Rather today. So this one, this is a superpower for either way. So it's would you rather have the ability to tell like the dick rating of somebody? Like when you just look at a guy, you just like see what number their cock is out of 10, like the information about it, the height. Or would you rather know the thing that the person is most ashamed about searching up and like picturing that in your head? So like you get to see the worst thing that person searched up.
So it's either knowing what dick size they have, or it's knowing what they're most ashamed of.
Yeah, or and quality.
Oh, I got you.
That's like two totally weird different things.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'd rather know what they're most ashamed of, because then if they piss me off, I can use it against them.
Yeah, you can use it against them.
But
go ahead.
Also with like the dick size thing, like you can also use that against them. They could be like 2 inches. Shut the hell up. Don't talk to me.
But like, okay, everybody's got a fear. Not every person has a dick, first of all.
Yeah.
Women.
Exactly, but usually women aren't ashamed about their search history.
Okay, yeah. But like, with the dick thing, what if somebody's got like...
Well, you couldn't use it for anything. You're like, oh, congrats, man. Congrats,
so just
bro.
use it as a conversation piece?
Yeah, but if you brought that up, like, you don't have to bring that up. They might think you're weird. Like, dude, how do you know? It's like, oh, I just looked at you, knew. Psychic that way. Big brain.
Because if it's something, like, if the thing is, though, it's something that somebody's ashamed of, it's always going to be bad.
Yeah,
ashamed
like,
of it,
and
yeah.
would you want to know that? Like, would you be walking down the streets and see, like, Ebony, Granny, MILF, like next to every person? Like, if that's part of, like, how you saw people, like, would you want that?
Yeah, like your best friend or something. You see they did something terrible.
Like, would you want that outlook on the world?
Yeah, okay, honestly, like, if I were looking at you boys, like, right now and I had, like, some superpower to do those two, I'd rather have the dick size. Because, like, if I were looking at you and I know that you, like, you look at and, like, really love some weird stuff, I think that says more about your personality than your
exactly.
dick itself.
It's like the personality versus that.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like they're both powerful in their own ways. Like,
yeah.
Because if you want, like, this is where it goes in the area of blackmail. Like, if you want to blackmail something, like, you just bring up the specific thing, and they're like, holy shit, how do you know that? I'm going to listen to you. Like, so it's a curse and a power at the same time.
Yeah.
Well, both of them are, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's more so the stuff I did as a kid that I'm ashamed of. Not really like in my teenage life. I did some whack shit as a kid. I'm telling you. Like, okay, there's kids who have done worse stuff, but I did some whack shit. Like, it's weird. It's just weird and it's wrong. And like,
and remember, it's what you searched up, not what you did.
Yeah. Wait, what? Wait, so say it again?
Okay, so it's would you rather like be able to see the worst thing that person is like searched up, not like the worst thing they did.
Okay.
Or like.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said like okay.
So if I'm just a weird like 12-year-old middle of growing up kid and I'm just randomly searching 3 tentacles in a granny or something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm okay with that as long as I can preface that like, hey, I was a dumbass back then. But like,
true.
Yeah, but also like you wouldn't know. Like it doesn't explain the context for it.
But hey, I mean, if someone were to come up to, if I were to go up to someone, okay, no, screw that.
Yeah.
If someone were to have that power, and they saw that I searched up 3 testicles in grandma's pussy, and then they walk up to me and say,
oddly
"Hey,
specific,
what the
Kevin.
fuck up is it?" Yeah. But
This is for me. I swear.
it's not for me. I just
It was for a friend. It was for a friend.
Yeah, I know my friends, not me. No, okay, but
Their
if
friends
someone
searched
were,
that up on there.
God, but if someone were to like go up to me and like they knew that and they asked me about that, it would be embarrassing, but also I could give them a story out of that.
Yeah.
Like if that were like what I just said,
But like,
prepubescent and all that.
but would you want to do that with every single person? Like, 'cause if there's something like really weird, you're like, yo, can you explain that? Like, I get old after a while.
It would. I mean, I'm one of those guys that were like, if I'm walking on the street and there's a bunch of people, I would rather the world be like, you could just walk up to someone and talk to them rather than everybody has to do their own shit and just walk past you.
Yeah.
So like, if I had that conversation piece to go off of, I would use it personally. I know it's weird, but like,
Yeah,
I just
and I feel like you can make money as like a street psychic. You're like the worst thing that you're ashamed of. You're like, do you want me to say that?
no.
And then the
Who's
person
gonna
would,
pay for that?
I'll,
well, no, no,
yeah,
no.
definitely,
Obviously,
yeah.
they're not gonna believe you. And then once you call them up, they're like, whoa, holy shit.
At
This
the end of the day, you got to make do with what God gave you. So I mean, as far as that goes, it doesn't really bother me. It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never like, how do you say it? I never try and tear somebody down because of their
Yeah.
their size. You know what I mean? It's whatever.
Exactly.
Dude. I mean, not even just dick size. Like in general, I don't care how tall,
Mhm.
short you are, fat, skinny.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
So wait, what are we picking over here? What are we picking?
I guess I'd rather just know what their dick size is, bro.
Yeah.
That's would you rather? I would rather do the search history, just knowing what they searched.
Yeah, and I really don't know which one I would choose, because, like, there's good for each way.
Because if I know the dick size, it's like, okay, I
Yeah.
know their dick size. Okay,
Yeah.
it's over with. But if I know what they searched up and it's really that bad, like if it's like
Yeah.
honey badger rides midget's cock
Yeah.
Yeah,
into
exactly.
orgasm, like that's
just
you know,
warped,
I don't know
yeah.
if I could get past that. I mean, no,
That is
I can get
warped.
past that, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's the like the aspect of getting past what they searched and like
Yeah.
getting past attaching that to who they are, and then just like realizing, hey, there's probably like a circumstance around that.
Yeah.
And if they're really weird, then like
Then, like, I guess
You
the worst
would.
thing is, like, yeah, you know, not to, like, let that guy watch your kids or something.
exactly.
Hmm.
So I mean, I could use it as a tool.
Yeah.
But with
And
the
I
di-
mean, both of them you could use as a tool. Like, I would
Yeah.
imagine, like, if the girls, like, would walk up to me, like, yo, what's that guy's cock like? Then you could be like, yeah, and tell him. It could be like a private cock investigation service.
Yeah, but then you basically ruin the dude's chances.
Yeah.
Well,
You could, you could.
you
for
could,
Or
sure.
yeah.
you don't have to tell the truth.
yeah, you
you-
don't.
you-
You can just say you can just lie a little.
Yeah, you could just know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ah,
But,
Yeah.
dude, yeah.
fuck, dude.
Shit is a like searching up stuff as a child like that was like a hobby back in the day,
Oh, that definitely
like
was.
weird stuff.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like think about it. Like back then, instead of porn, you're like, oh, naked titties, uncensored on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know what I
On
mean?
YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I need help with this Pokemon X tutorial. So time to search for
Yeah.
Pokemon X videos.
Dude, I've done so many walkthroughs, man. Oh my god, you don't even know.
Dude, okay, yeah, no, that's a good topic. Video game walkthroughs,
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
they are the savior of me, but like I hate to actually like have to go to them.
Yeah, it's like a shame thing.
Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
shame thing. So I'm like, I really can't get past this by myself.
Well, like that reminds me of how there's like guys that like are avoidant to like hiring contractors. 'Cause they're like, oh, I want to do it myself.
Which is admirable, but like contractor, their whole job is to help you.
Yeah.
So like,
They can do it better than you will.
probably.
Same thing with doing taxes. This is just me personally. Like my dad would be like, "Yeah, I'd rather just pay somebody to do it, so I don't have to worry about it." Maybe it's not a good way to be. Like obviously, it's more money out of your pocket. But that I'm kind of the same way. Like if
Yeah.
it's something stupid like that, or not stupid,
Yeah.
but if it's something like that, I'd rather just pay somebody to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I honestly agree. Honestly, because like A, that's their job.
Yeah.
You're paying them to do their job. They probably need that money.
Yeah.
And then like B, I would take so much time out of my like month or whatever just doing taxes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather have someone else do that.
And especially like if it's something that requires like an adequate amount of work. Like I don't trust my work ethic and quality for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather have a carpenter who's like experienced and has good work.
Oh yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the whole reason we came up with specializations.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that literally go around, like that I know that they go around and build stuff for people, but they don't have an actual like job. It's like they go around and do projects. They make money off of that. They're not rich,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're so much more free though. They do the projects.
Yeah,
they
they're
like
freelance
to do it.
worker.
Yeah, they're so like literally my dad's friend who's like 50, and like he goes out and parties all the time when my dad can't because he gets the projects done. He gets the money from that, and then he can
Yeah.
do what he wants and just kind of do it, you know, pace himself with it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like a traveling dildo salesman versus like
Yes.
Ooh, that is what we call in the business a callback.
yeah.
Wow. Damn. We're already calling back to episodes.
Yeah.
No,
The
seriously.
only episode in our series.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
No, but seriously, honestly like being your own boss to me, that's the dream.
Yeah.
But I know that's really hard to attain in a lot of areas of work. So I'm okay with working under a boss, but just to think that you can like set your own hours and just do whatever you want.
I mean, with my 3D printer, like I'm kind of that way because like I make models and commissions for people.
Yeah.
So I'm my own boss in that sense. So it's like if somebody wants something immediately, then I'll just get it done in like 20 minutes working and just print it up overnight. Or if like my dad asked me to do a project, like I could put it on the back burner and do it like whenever I want to.
Yeah, and that's you can make your own
And
schedule
like it's
too.
really, and also like with advertising, like I don't really advertise out there because like I'm busy. But like if I was really bored and I needed to work, then I would just like promote like crazy. And then once I have jobs, then like I could rein it in. So it's like as much money as you want to make, and it's like you get exactly what you put in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole thing with like entrepreneurs, I've heard is like one of the downsides is they work a lot more hours.
Oh,
They work a lot more,
constantly.
and it's like, but here's the thing: isn't that the dream to work less and make more? So why I see all these things on Instagram about entrepreneurs and success, or at least I have, and it's like, oh yeah, you make all sorts of money, but you work so much more. So it's
Yeah.
like, who dreams as a kid? Like people want to be basketball players, they want to be police officers, firefighters. Nobody goes, man, I want to do stock brokerage or whatever the frick it's called. I really want to do that. That seems really fun. Nobody does that. They just do it for the money. But it's like you work so much more.
Well,
So
I would disagree with that. Like for many entrepreneurs, like especially in the tech area, like with Bill Gates and like Steve Jobs, like that was like a passion. Like they were into
that was
software
their
and
lives.
computers.
oh yeah, software
And
and
like
stuff.
they
Yeah.
put thousands of hours like
But you're saying like
a year.
being an accountant?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Well, I would say like with accounting, like there really is no, like the only entrepreneurship in countings are people that start their own portfolios and like start their own private investing things. And like some people have a knack for it. Like I know kids that like since middle school they'll be talking about stocks and like yeah, my parents gave me $200 to invest for Christmas.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually on the stock market right now too. Believe it or not, in these times, I made $100.
Yeah,
For real.
and
Like,
I mean
out
well,
of like 400.
yeah.
But yeah.
but that's still really good. It's 20% return.
Yeah.
And I
like,
mean,
good.
it's not like the market's all down. It's just more volatile right now. And like
Yeah.
for day trading and people that make money off of stocks, volatility is good.
Oh,
For like
it's
people
amazing.
that, you know, want to retire and have like 401ks and stuff,
It's gonna
like
suck.
yeah, it could just snap and go away.
So, well, you're saying like, Matt, you're saying like entrepreneurship in terms of like a job where you could be that, like,
Yeah.
like with Chris, he could be like a 3D printing landscaper or whatever. But like,
3D print hillsides.
what?
I said landscaper.
I don't, I don't know how that shit works, dude. I mean, if you want to explain sometime, sure, go ahead.
I don't
It
know,
wouldn't be
like
like
that
that.
stuff's legitimately cool. I think that
Yeah.
stuff's cool.
Yeah.
I just don't understand. Like, I think it's like I think Warren Buffett had a quote. It's like, okay, Warren Buffett had a quote. It's like, oh yeah, they say money isn't everything, but make sure you make enough money before you talk such nonsense. But that is nonsense.
Yeah, that's
It's-
nonsense.
It really is nonsense.
Well,
Like,
it's a self-criticizing, almost ironic quote for it.
Yeah,
So,
it
like, the
makes-
point
yeah.
of it is to be contradictory nonsense that hits that there's no inherent order to things.
yeah.
yeah, it's just, it was kind of funny. I'm just like, yeah, of
Yeah.
course he's rich, but it's like, I don't know, like,
Well, I feel like he's like one of the rich people that don't live elegant lives, because like all the true billionaires out there, like they still drive the same cars we do. Like, and Warren Buffett, like he lives in like a house that's like the size of our houses, and he drives like the same car he has for like 30 years.
Doesn't he have his own island though?
Yeah,
doesn't he have?
but like he doesn't like appreciate it like regularly. Like he's just flexing that island, you know?
So like he just bought it just to flex, but like he's just like us. you
Yeah,
know? Just a regular
exactly.
billionaire.
Well, that's what they do. They live like they're poor when they're actually rich. It's 'cause,
Well,
like,
it's just force of habit.
well, I mean, I don't know. There's been some like entrepreneurs that literally have like certain things that they've said that's literally been like, yeah, I live like I'm poor because it's like why people don't bring up their salary to other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They don't. It's just not.
Well, I
It's
feel
just
like
not
the main
something to talk
reason
about,
why
so
they
it's-
don't talk about their salary is like because that's been discouraged by employers because they don't want people like unionizing and saying like, oh, I make this much, I want a raise.
Yes.
Like it's more to keep people divided
Well,
aspect.
no, but like what I think what Matt's saying is like it's
Yeah.
kind of an insecurity
It's-
type thing.
And it's also like trying to stay humble, like
Yeah.
because obviously if they lived rich, like their riches would go to their head and then they'll become sloppy. Like the best way to look at something, like I've always read, is like look at it as an outsider, and like
Yeah.
the beginning learning growth mindset is the way to go about stuff. So I feel like they're just trying to preserve that.
Yeah.
That's like part of their success.
And like I don't know why, I just get the feeling of fear of like, yeah, you get out this mansion and all this crap, and then what if like the source of income starts, like, you know, something happens and like you lose all that crap. I'd rather have a house, like middle class looking house like
well,
this.
dollars, like it's kind of hard to lose a bill. Actually, I guess I'd be surprised.
I
There's
don't
a
know.
lot of
There's
people
been a
that
lot of
don't.
athletes that have made hundreds of millions and lost it all. Like, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot.
I saw a stat like after, I think
It's
I'm
the
not
lottery.
sure.
Like
Yeah.
they don't feel happier afterwards.
Well, it's like 5 years after guys retire. I think it's like, it's almost like 50% of them go broke or file for bankruptcy.
Huh.
It's because like, well, A, they're not trained on how to use that money, and B, I think like the thought of like having a mansion and like sick cars, I think it gets to people's heads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I would imagine there's like I've done this once, I want to do it again. Like, I've got that with running. It's like, oh, I ran a 6-minute mile, and then you want to do that off season, and like you try and you can't, and like it's frustrating. It's like they're not making the same level of money that they're used to.
Yeah, like attaining that level
uh-huh.
of like luxury and success.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they just want to keep up like the dream that they're doing that,
Yeah.
feeling good.
I mean, I felt that way with, like, okay, here's a small example, like food. Like, I'll eat some food and I'm like, okay, I'm not too full. I could eat a little more. It won't hurt me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, it's like you're saying about getting the mansions and the cars. Oh, you know, I got all this money. I can buy this crap. You know, it's not going to hurt me that much. I still got plenty of money.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's obviously what, you know,
Yeah.
you
that's
get
what
into
it's
that
like.
mindset. It might not kill you right then and there, but down the line it might.
Yeah.
At least how I feel.
Yeah. And
You know-
see,
Go ahead.
and like I guess with the money thing, like with me, usually like I would make a bunch of money working like in a summer, and then like it'd be how long it goes away, because eventually I just get like 2 big things, and then I'll be back to broke.
What do you mean by like 2 big things?
Like usually I'd have like $400 in the account, and then I'll get like a 3D printer, and then like
Okay.
some modeling stuff, or go somewhere on a trip and like spend it.
Okay. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I have like a hypothetical kind of a would you rather.
Okay.
It is a would you rather, honestly. Would you rather be like, what is it? Would you rather be rich beyond your belief, but like rich, not rich beyond belief, but like make a really good amount of money, but be at a job that you hate, or have a job that you love and not make that much? Like
guess-
minimum wage.
I guess it depends on like how much, because like if it's $1 billion a year,
No, I'm okay. Like,
it's like enough to be comfortable off of. So like 6 figures.
yeah,
Let's say?
six figures. Let's say $200,000.
Okay, and like, so we hate it, but like, how much do we work?
We don't hate.
Like,
Well, we
hourly?
don't hate it. It's just like monotonous and like.
Okay, so it's like an accountant at like some celebrity thing, like where you have to do a bunch of work you hate. And,
We have
like,
it's like, okay, situation one, you're a CEO at a game development company, and all you do is sit around and like feel depressed, but you make $200,000 at least.
well, I feel like if it's a game development company, you wouldn't be bored and
He's
depressed.
just giving, he's just
That's
giving
not
the point,
examples,
dude.
you know what I mean?
They could do like some industrial chemical company where you're like turning
Okay,
one
Wells
chemical
Fargo.
into another. Okay,
You're
makes sense.
you're a no,
banker, yeah.
You're a banker at Wells Fargo. You make $200K, but you go home to nothing, but you have a bunch of money. Versus, you do whatever the hell you want, but you make like close to minimum wage or minimum wage.
Yeah.
I feel like to go to whatever you want one in a way.
That's what everybody, yeah, I think everybody would choose that, but like minimum wage, dude, like that'd be
Yeah.
tough to like
Yeah.
really live on your own.
Like, it's tempting to say that you want to go to that minimum wage love job, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lovely
but like, I don't know. Maybe it's just like the security within me, but I would honestly rather go to like the monotonous 200, like make a lot of money, just because like I could have spare time to maybe
Yeah.
like try and do a passion. Whereas like with the minimum wage love job, that is your passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thing is, though, that minimum wage job, it's like you'll never stop working. Like
Mhm.
you won't really
Yeah.
retire as early.
Yeah.
You know?
Like there's the potential of like hitting it big and somehow getting in like getting a big deal with someone.
It's true,
Yeah,
but
and I feel like you wouldn't really be working. Like, I feel like a hobby. I feel like it'd be like a hobby thing for a standpoint where your hobby is your job.
But I couldn't spend at least like 7 or 8 hours a day
Well, I
on
guess
my hobby.
the question really goes down to is like what you want your standard of living to be. Because like, I
Well, it's
feel
more than just that though. Like, yes, the standard of living is part of it, but it's also like
like
it's
your
also, like,
financial like.
your financial and your like psychological
Mhm.
being. Like, what do you think that your mental health is worth 200K and a potential at like maybe getting something off the ground in your free time?
Yeah. And I guess like it's how much free time we would have. Because like,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't feel like I could like do a hobby for 8 hours straight, Because like I feel like a hobby to me is like a perfect example of that is video games, where I can pick it up for like 2-3 hours.
So you'd be like a unfamous like YouTube channel, like where you make like
perfect example.
basically minimum wage from that.
Man.
See, I feel like I would still do that for the freedom of it. Like,
Yeah.
I guess the only really impact on me would be like the social one. Like, you're not making this much money, so you must not be as good, and you must not be like applying your smarts as well.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I guess if I was like in a place with more of my peers, where it's instead of like parents and like old people, per se, like around that like would judge me for it. Like if those people were out of the equation, and it's just like a more supportive environment. So probably like just living on your own with people you like.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I could definitely do that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we didn't talk about that part. If you're living with somebody, like a friend or
Yeah.
something. But I guess I assumed you were just living by yourself or something. But
Well, with
And I guess it goes into like starting a family, like, cause, like if you were to grow up someday and like have a family, like you wouldn't really be able to like send your kids to college. So like that means you either need to marry somebody rich and smart,
yeah.
or you need to like
join the YouTube channel. Bro.
Yeah.
Join the YouTube channel.
you could just start abusing your kids and then filming it, and you can make millions.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Like, I don't millions of yeah.
Well, I mean that's what that one like Daddy of Five did.
Video 5.
Is it actually called Daddy of Five?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that channel got removed. I'm pretty sure.
He made millions doing that.
Yeah.
He made money. You're like, yeah, I subscribed.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I'm just kidding. I did.
Yeah.
Oh shit, but yeah, I don't know.
So,
It
yeah.
is tempting. I don't know. I guess it really
Yeah.
depends on what the hobby
And I guess
is.
there'd be like a more supportive community behind it. So like Matt, like your hobby would probably be like gym training and being like a personal trainer
That's what I want to do.
and like helping out people. So like imagine that for like minimum wage. At
you-
that,
But you could be a stockbroker for a
Uh-huh.
bunch of money.
yeah.
Yeah, I
And like,
guess I
could
do
we
the
have like a
trading.
side job in there? Like, cause I feel like I could balance an investment portfolio between like a hobby and gaming like company, like making like board games and 3D modeling and stuff, or like
Yeah.
a 3D printers co-op.
So you could like integrate your love, but I mean that kind of gets it. That kind of like morphs the two though.
Yeah,
Like the hypothetical I'm putting around is like it's strictly one
strictly
of the
either or.
other. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like I'd have to go with a job you love still.
Yeah. I feel so many people say that though.
Yeah, so many people do, but like, I feel like I'm not as bothered by stuff. Like, I don't really care about having a car. Like, I would happily bike to work every day. Like, I wouldn't spend the money down for a car.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need like all this stuff to be happy. I feel like,
Yeah. That's a good point because like
and I mean, like, I don't like. I guess even vacationing, like, really, you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to go on vacation. Like, you could do the same hitchhiking around and like staying in like, I guess, crappier, rundown places or like couch surfing. And I know there's like a whole network for that. So like, I feel like you just need to make your life optimized for having less money.
That makes sense. I'd
Yeah.
probably live in. I know some
Mhm.
people don't like Florida, but I'd probably live like downtown in like Jacksonville, Florida, or something. Because
Yeah.
weather's always nice, so there's no winter, so you don't need to worry about a car. You can be outside. Also, you'll be downtown, right where a lot of stuff is.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, like I would do it in like some like city like Seattle or Portland,
like one of those big
Oregon, yeah.
Western up and coming.
These
Uh-huh.
Rocket Island
Yeah, like an
come eat my
up and
ass,
coming places.
Dude, I swear, gators come eat your ass, bro. You're swimming in the pool.
Yeah.
They
Matt, so
slither
you
in
just
like
become like a
scared.
Florida
Especially in
man?
water.
I'm telling you, people are like, "There's like no gators, motherfucker, dude."
Dude, there's
seen the
hella
videos.
alligators. Literally
Yeah.
driving on the highway, you just see them in like the ditch.
Dude, they just come in people's swimming pools. Like
I mean,
dead
literally,
animals.
like
Yeah.
every Floridian at birth is assigned an alligator.
Floridian. I mean, gators as pets would be lit, but again, they chomp my asshole to pieces.
They
like,
would.
just
Well,
smithereens.
that's when they're older, so that's why you just do like the irresponsible pet owner. Like, you know, you have them till they're a baby and then you just flush them down the toilet, like when they get too big.
Yeah.
You just shove the gator right
you
down
just,
the toilet.
You just plunge it right down when
Yeah.
they get too big. Keep in mind, when they get too big.
When
Not
they
while
get
they're
too
small,
big,
when
from
they're
the
big.
toilet.
Then we
Yeah.
shove them down. Oh my god.
Nah, actually, I'm pretty sure like there's something about that where people just release the alligators into like the sewer somewhere as like an urban legend somewhere.
Urban legend.
I mean, I believe it. Because like a gator could live anywhere.
Yeah.
With water,
Plus,
honestly.
in like a city, there's like millions of people, so obviously somewhere somebody's crazy enough to do shit like that.
And they're fast. Like they're actually faster on land than people give them credit. Like
Yeah.
people think they want you to think that they're slow because they're just got little stubby arms, but they can move on land, bro. They
Yeah.
can
They
move.
got that agility.
Mhm.
Got that
Well, I
agility.
feel like you could juke them out still.
You could juke out a gator.
Yeah. 'Cause
Just
I mean, like the.
oh shit, just RKO.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
they
there's-
long
there's-
yeah.
There's actually it was a dude who RK'd alligator twice. It's like man
my
gets
God.
arrested for RKOing an alligator twice. And I'm like, I don't know if I
Damn.
want to laugh because
Dude,
he
honestly,
got
I
arrested
think
or
that
because it happened twice. Like,
Yeah.
I think we should send that man to the special forces if he
Yeah.
could like take down a gator.
It's like Ace Ventura
See,
when nature calls. I don't know if you've seen that. He's wrestling
Yeah.
an alligator. He's like, "Why are you hitting yourself?" And he's smacking in the face with his own hands.
See,
And he starts like freaking elbowing this motherfucker.
Yeah, like I feel like we need to have that man fight the Russian guys that like beat up polar bears and shit and like wrestle bears.
Dude, honestly, bro.
Just have a.
That's
Like
what,
it could be like that one Rocky movie.
What?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't
oh,
know.
wait, bears? Oh no, wait.
The one where he fights like the Soviet.
Oh, okay, Rocky
Yeah.
4. I think you meant a bear, like
Oh,
a
okay,
polar
okay.
bear.
Oh.
Like, what?
Where
I'm like,
Rocky
I don't know
fights a
about that.
Yeah.
It just it keeps going on with him fighting
Yeah.
different animals.
Yeah, little kids in there, they're like, "Oh, he can fight a bear. I can."
Well, like Rocky 16, Rocky battles cancer. Yeah, that was his last one.
Rocky battles cancer. Didn't he already do that in the first Creed movie?
Wait, what?
Yeah, he did that in the first Creed movie.
I didn't know
Beat up
that.
a kid with
Battled
cancer?
Yeah, he battled
Shit.
cancer and he won.
Was that just a subplot?
I guess so. Yeah, he was like before his big fight, he was in there. He's like, "Come on, man, don't die." He's like, "Fuck." Just freaking. No, it was actually
Just
the first
sh-
Creed movie.
Yeah, he's just shooting up some chemotherapy in there.
Rocky versus rehabilitation.
He predicted the past, bro.
Rocky versus clinical depression.
He versus clinical
It goes from like actual fighters to animals to like
Clinical.
mental state.
The
Yeah.
Martians.
So Rocky fights his ex-wife for the kids in court.
Rocky
It's
fights his
just a
son for
lawyer
screaming
movie.
in church.
Rocky fights the justice system.
Yeah. Rocky fights apples to get a refund on his phone.
Oh god.
Oh, good.
Rocky fights himself because he's schizophrenic. And
Just Rocky turns into Split, but it's just
Yeah.
himself.
turns into
It's just literally Fight Club. What did I do?
shit, dude. God.
Rocky's the greatest man ever.
I think we
Yeah.
gotta come up with these. We gotta,
Exactly.
Who we gonna
Oh.
cast?
Do you know remember when you were talking about like 21 Jump Street
Yeah.
last time? So you know how like at the end of 22 Jump Street they just like at the end credits thing they do
Yeah.
like 23,
Yeah.
24, 30 like
Uh-huh.
oh that's what we should do.
You two
Yeah.
sons of bitches that go into medical school. And like, it says like Jump Street Generations, like a video game. Like, what was the other one?
Or one of those
You
like
go to
the
Russia.
kids going at it.
Oh, that was funny, dude.
You're going to graduate school.
Yeah.
Like they just got a 4-year degree out of nowhere.
Yeah. Wait, I don't understand. They went to college in 22 Jump Street, then went to medical school. Now they're going to grad school after all that.
Yeah.
I think it was grad school, yeah.
Then they go to a dance academy or something.
And like some culinary academy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, they went to go there, yeah.
Oh shit, that's good.
Yeah.
Good. Oh,
What an
dude.
iconic movie.
Honestly, 21 and 22 Jump Street are underrated.
Yeah. They're up there with Superbad.
They are.
Oh yeah, for real. I mean,
Yeah, like-
Ice Cube. I had no idea he was like, because I knew he. Well, I didn't even know. Like when I watched the movie Straight Outta
Yeah.
Compton, like about NWA, I was like, I see Ice Cube as like the chunkier, like just really pissed off, like 21 Jump Street, like head
Yeah.
cop, right?
Yeah.
Then I find out about his past, and he's like the gangster, like rapping
Yeah.
against
Yeah,
the
no, he
cops. That
actually
started
was.
a movement. Like, that's crazy.
Like it's one of my all-time favorites, but he gets dogged on a lot. Do y'all know the it's got like Cuba Gooding Jr. and it's got Lawrence Fishburne.
Boys in the Hood, maybe?
Yeah, it's Boys in the Hood.
Is it Boys in the Hood? I didn't
Yeah.
know Lawrence Fishburne was in there.
He's the dad. He's-
Fishburne.
Lawrence
Yeah, I haven't seen
Fishburne.
that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that is one of the whitest names. Welcome in,
Lawrence
Lawrence Fishburne.
Fishburne.
Yeah. Like Lawrence, you just pick up
Yeah.
just picture some old guy in, like a nursing home.
Oh my god! And then what was
That's
it?
true.
Friday? I think of Friday when it's got
That's
got Ice Cube in it.
damn.
Yeah, and he's that's not even my favorite part. It's when he
Oh,
comes
shit.
in the kitchen. He's like, every time I come to the kitchen, you're in the kitchen in the goddamn refrigerator eating all the food, and he's sitting there just like going at him. And he's got the cereal, and there's not enough milk. He's like, we don't got no milk. He's like, you better put some water in that shit. 'Cause he's got the. I'm gonna use that when I'm a dad one day. I swear. I just want to be like that man.
Yeah.
Well, I forgot what his fucking name was. But I love
The Chris Tucker looking one.
Well,
The one
Chris
with the wide
Tucker's
eyes
in
and
there.
shit?
It's Ice Cube's dad or whatever. He's like the
Oh.
old dude. His name's John
Yeah.
Witherspoon or something. And he's sitting there shitting, and he's sitting there taking a shit, and he's like spraying it. He's like, come in here. He's like, shut the door. He's like, I don't want to be in here. He's like, man, I've been smelling your shit for 22 years. You guys know why for 5 minutes? I just wanna model myself as a dad after this man.
Yeah.
He's sitting there.
And this is how Matt lost child custody.
Honestly, they'll use this in court.
Yeah.
Example 1. I'm just gonna spray the shit out of my son. I'm gonna tell him to not use milk on his fucking cereal and shit.
Use water, bro.
Dude, I mean, have you guys done that before?
Fuck
Water and cereal?
'Cause I'm not a heretic.
Dude,
Yeah,
I've
dude.
had to do that. Like, we ran out of milk.
Sadist.
Well, no.
I
This
would
is
hate
like
myself.
backwoods camping. Like, there's no milk. Once
I
you
inflict pain on
just had to do
myself.
that. Like, I had to survive. It's either that or chopping off my arm.
So you have the cereal to survive. Why don't you just eat the cereal?
Well, you just put
It's
water
the
in there
cereal
to
itself.
get it soggy a bit.
If it works like that, sure, but that
I
just
mean-
takes away the taste.
It really didn't.
Really?
I don't know.
Okay, what about maybe it's just the viscosity?
Even
Yeah.
just the way it looks, like I can't, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because when you see Cocoa Pebbles and you pour
Well,
milk
it
in, looks
depends
like
on the
cool.
cereal.
Yeah.
It was Reese's Puffs. Like, if it was like the Pebble cereal or like
I was
Cheerios,
thinking Reese's Puffs.
yeah.
Dude,
Like,
Reese's.
Reese's Puffs kind of
Sounds
worked.
good.
Like the Puff cereal would work, but not the Krispies.
Oh,
or
you,
like
now
the
you got me on cereals,
Cheerios.
bro. You don't even know.
No, we gotta talk about
Cereals
cereal.
is
Yeah.
my literally. I'd eat cereal so much more often if it wasn't so much calories and if I didn't eat so much of it in
Dude,
one
my
sitting.
parents don't buy
That's true.
cereal for us. Like, we only have the special K shit.
Oh,
Dude, that sucks. We
Yeah, I
got
know.
freaking the graham crunch. Dude, I've been grubbing. I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
grubbing on that graham crunch. It tastes like graham crackers, you know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah.
Then she
And then-
bought this. Oh, sorry. Were you gonna say
Go ahead,
something?
no.
I was just gonna say she bought this frosted honey bunches of oats, which you're like,
Those are amazing.
yeah, they taste
Oh,
like
yeah.
frosted flakes though. Like to me, they taste like frosted flakes and they have oats in them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So like they're still good, but it's like I'll just buy frosted flakes. That's just me if I get them.
that's true.
Yeah.
Well, what about the ones where they're like they got the strawberries in them and all that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
oh
those
yeah,
are the
yeah. I
special
haven't tried that one.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
I love that. And then
My
okay,
parents get some off-brand ones that don't really have any strawberries in them. So it kind of
suck.
sucks, yeah.
How do you feel about contrast? Like for instance, like banana splits. You got the warm banana and the cold ice cream. Like how do you feel about contrast? Like to me, that's a huge factor.
Yeah, I
now
feel
that
like-
you said fruit and cereal, like that's a thing for me. Like when you
Yeah.
put like warm bananas and cold cereal. Like to me, I like the contrast. I don't know about you. but,
I
like,
hate it personally.
I
Like,
would
just in
say
general,
like
or,
it can't be like too extreme. Like if it's like warm and cold, like it's like hot fudge and ice cream, like that's kind of nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or like yeah.
But like I feel like milky cereal is not like the way to do it. Like maybe like I guess with oatmeal, how you have like a cool like milk or yogurt if you put it on there with the hot oatmeal.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing.
Yeah, or like if I've eaten like cold chicken fingers with like warm blue cheese, or like
Other way around.
The other way around. yeah. I've
Oh,
eaten-
man,
warmed
gotta
up
eat
the
some
blue cheese
cold
first,
chicken.
not the chicken. No, the
Yeah.
blue
Yeah.
cheese.
I put them
See,
in the
you just
freezer.
go straight to the freezer.
Honestly.
Chicken.
Honestly, I mean,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know. I'm a huge contrast person.
Okay, no, I get that in terms of the hot and cold stuff, but the one when you said that, the one thing that came to mind is like the chocolate covered bacon,
Oh yeah.
like or like the salted chocolate. I hate that stuff.
Oh, I got you.
I guess it depends on the thing, like, cause brownie with bacon on top, like that's not that bad.
No, I can't get past.
I've never tried it, so I don't even know.
See, like one thing that's really weird, but I tried is like Sour Patch Kids on pizza, but like only with Blasdale's
Sounds
pizza.
Fucking weird. Oh, like
Whoa.
Blasdale. You had to say Blasdale.
Yeah. See, only
Yeah,
with
you
that
just
one
had to say
brand.
this.
Yeah. My friend's like, do it, you won't, and like it actually tasted solid.
That sounds like a stoner thing to do.
Yeah, that does.
Yo, check this out, dude.
But it's like
Yeah, bro.
sweet and spicy almost, and like you get like the citrus thing mixed with like the pizza sauce for it.
Yeah, man.
The sweet and spicy stuff, like the like the Asian spice.
Yeah.
Like, I can't take that stuff. I don't know what it is. It's just like
Huh? Like,
Like
so
with
can you take
barbecue-
regular spicy?
no. I love spicy. Like I love like spicy barbecue. I love like teriyaki, cause like that stuff's like just spicy.
Yeah.
But when you get sweet and spicy in there, it just messes with my brain.
I feel you. I have to have it in small doses. I can't have
Yeah.
too much of it.
Yeah.
A little bit.
See,
Or,
like
like they have the fucking places with the wings that drench it
Oh.
in sauce. It's like I literally have to take a paper towel and like rub some of the sauce off it. I just can't have too much of it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
get that, but like,
well,
I
there's
love
like
drenching it.
there's
Yeah.
like a golden ratio, I would say.
Yeah.
Like where it's entirely covered but not too thick.
But like, With them drenching the sauce, can't you just lick the sauce and then eat it like the way you want it?
Yeah, I guess, but it's
Yeah.
just like I don't
But
know.
would you want to lick the sauce? Like, is it like worthy sauce?
I mean,
I mean, if you're getting the sauce, I would think it's worthy.
Yeah.
it's just.
Well, I
either
mean,
way, it's
some
a lot of
sauces
sauce.
like don't taste straight up like good on their own. Like, do you just go to your like refrigerator and take ketchup out and just like squirt it in your mouth for like fun?
Okay, no,
Like
I
that
hate
with ranch?
condiments in that regard, but like for me, hot sauce is something that I can just down.
Well, it's like chicken.
So
It's like
just
if
do
I
that
get
with
like a
hot
chicken
sauce?
bacon ranch thing, and then I dip it in ranch. It's already got the ranch on there. So
Yeah.
to me, I'm not gonna dip it in more ranch. That's how I feel about the wings. It's already got like the barbecue stuff on there. So when they freaking drench it in barbecue sauce, like I don't know, it's just like
I guess it depends on the sauce for me.
I guess yeah. Like
How
they
about
got the yeah.
How about this? Dry rub or like the sauce on a wing? Like you know how they're like dry rub wings?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, I don't think I've had dry rub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Really. I've
Yeah,
had
can you
like
like
mild.
enlighten us on dry rub?
yeah, so have you ever seen like dry rub ribs?
Is it just like no moist, like not really moist, not really saucy?
Yeah, it's like it's just the like the spices and the flakes and any of that. They just
Oh.
like smother it on, and
So it's like a
more
powder.
like
Oh, maybe I
It's no
have
sauce.
had that. It's
Huh.
pretty good. I don't prefer it, but I mean, I'll eat them if they're
I
there.
would
They're
say
good.
yeah. I would say sauce is still better.
yeah. So I feel like it's got to be like two things paired together,
Yeah.
like the wetness of the sauce and then the meatiness of the meat.
Yeah, that's always good.
Yeah,
Oh man, I'm hungry.
dude. For real. I had some freaking. It was like it's not chicken Alfredo. It doesn't have the Alfredo sauce, but it's like a different kind of cheese or whatever. But oh my god, I had it earlier and it was like. I don't
Damn,
know.
it's
I'm just-
fire.
You don't understand, dude. I'll be sitting up at night, like I just want to eat everything. I just want to eat till I'm dead. There's literally a fat dude who like lost a bunch of weight. He was like on Snapchat. He's like, I think I'll just eat till I'm dead. And he's so fat you couldn't even see his legs. Like when he's sitting down, the
Jeez.
fat just covers his legs.
Oh,
What the hell?
He literally just has a blanket of fat like covering his legs. And I'm like, dude, how are you even gonna get up? I don't understand. So like that, I
Yeah.
think that
like where do they
motivates
even get the money like to fund
To,
their
like, eat
food
that much.
addiction?
to fund your
to fund your eating habits.
Like I would imagine you can't do work.
No, okay. Me and two of my friends back at college, we had an argument about that. Like, I feel like, I honestly feel like, or no, okay. So we were having that discussion, and I was saying that I don't think that it's right to like, cause you know how there are those like XL stores that like sell like they sell. Yeah, so I was having this conversation slash like argument with two of my friends from college, and like you know those like XL stores that like they sell clothes for like bigger people. I feel like something like that. I know it serves a purpose, but I feel like that like I feel like it just like makes being big okay, and I think that like you should strive to be as fit as you can. And then my friends were arguing that like people should be okay. People should like if they wanna eat, they should be able to eat and all that. And it's just I
See-
don't know. That caught me for a loop.
And I feel like in capitalism, like in America, there's like a market for that. So it's like you can't prevent stores from doing that because they're just filling a need. Like
Yeah.
they say, I can make money selling fat people trash bag sized clothing, so I'll do that.
Yeah, I mean,
And like,
yeah.
I disagree with that.
But it's a part of our system.
Uh huh. Yeah.
What are you gonna say?
sorry, I was cutting you guys off. I got a habit of doing that, but it's all right. I was just gonna say, like, I agree with two of those things. Like, if it's somebody like, I don't know, if it's somebody that I kind of know, or it's like I know of, or I see on the street, and they want to do that, like, I don't care. But when it's somebody like my friends or like family or something, and they're getting really unhealthy and they're eating a lot, I'm gonna want to say something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like, you
usually I
would,
try not to because people take it to offense, which makes sense. I mean, I think it makes sense. But me personally, when it comes to the people I care about, my friends or family, I'm gonna want them to, like you said, strive to be as healthy as you can be. But at the same
Yeah.
time, I don't want to force it on them and say this is the
Yeah.
lifestyle you should live. You know what I mean? Like live what you know.
I feel like it's right to like encourage that, but not to like harshly discourage. 'Cause I
Yeah.
feel like in some cases, like with highly emotional people, that could make stuff worse.
Oh,
like,
that could damage like
Yeah.
bounce
yeah.
on that.
Like I personally don't get that because I'm like, oh, like I don't cry about stuff because like crying doesn't really help it, and then like other people like, oh, I'm just crying because I feel like it.
Yeah.
Like I don't really get that.
No, I feel that.
I'm like the worst at consoling people. Like somebody would be crying. I'm like, yo, why are you crying? Like, oh, my boyfriend left me. I'm like, well, crying about it's not gonna bring him back.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, no, I get that. I mean, it's not always the easiest thing. Like, it's nobody. I don't think most people feel comfortable when they see somebody like crying. It's kind of
Yeah,
hard.
it's like a human instinct. Like somebody's in distress, I'll help.
Yeah, and then when we actually get there, we don't know what to say, or like we feel like. For me, I'm just afraid of somebody getting mad or somebody telling me go away. I don't want to talk to you. So that's my thing. Like I can go and say that stuff, but most of the time the person just wants to be left alone,
Yeah.
which I understand.
Like I'll do it anyways. Like half expecting that response.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, okay, with me, it's kind of like I'm a literalist, or like, I don't know, how do I put it? Like, if someone's mad, but like I know the reason why they're mad is stupid, or like they're sad or mad, and I know the reason why it's kind of stupid, I'll kind of be like, dude, why are you? I won't console them. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I'll be like, why are you being sad?
Well, like
Just be
usually
happy.
with me, like I don't focus on consoling. Like when I see something, I'm like, okay, what's the problem, and fix the problem, not console them. Like
Wait,
that's
what?
my first instinct.
Like, your first instinct is not to console them?
Well, the first instinct is to fix the problem and then console them if like necessary. But like that's always second.
That's interesting. I kind of feel like it's the other way around for me. Like,
Yeah.
get the person in a good emotional state first, and then try and see what the problem is from both angles.
Well, obviously you're gonna need to like ask them what's wrong, and like then you're gonna need to like console them to get to the point where they can do something about it.
Yeah.
But if it's like over something stupid and like what they did is like repeatable and like predictable, like if it's like a girl and like they turned down somebody who's good and like they went for like a known scumbag, like, oh, he asked me for news and a scumbag, like, well, you should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Like, people warned you about that. So just don't mistake again. Like there's no like crying about it, it's not gonna fix it. Like what's done is done, so just move on and learn from it. And like I guess like being distraught by it can serve to like reinforce like the lesson you learn.
Yeah. And like, in our society today, I feel like that's a response that not a people want to hear. Like, not a lot of people want that more harsher tone, but
Yeah.
it's something that I think a lot of us think.
See, like I was watching Sherlock, like that one show on the BBC.
Yeah.
Yesterday, and like that, like he's just that way because he's just like a sociopath, but like a genius, and he's like kind of altruistic because he cares about solving murders, but he really does it because he's interested in it. So he'd be like,
doesn't really give a shit about the
Yeah.
feelings, just...
like when his roommate's like crying because there's a gun to her head, he'll be like, "Well, crying about it's not going to stop that bullet, so shut up."
It's just like it's one of those things. I was thinking about what you said when you said, "Oh, if it's something stupid, I'm just gonna tell them it's stupid. Why are you sad about it?" What's the word for it? Is it subjective or objective? Where it's like this is subjective, which means
Yeah,
like
objective is like
in multiple different ways.
yeah.
That's subjective.
That's subjective. I think it's subjective because it's like to me, I don't like people insulting my intelligence. So when somebody calls me stupid, it makes me kind of mad. But some people might go, "Dude, just say F you and stop caring." But it makes me mad. I don't like people looking down on my intelligence. I say stupid shit. I know that.
Yeah.
But you listen. And look, I'm not being hypocritical. I know I do this. I don't call people stupid. I might get a little aggravated if they keep asking me. I might go,
Well-
"No, it's this." But I don't go, "Are you this? Are you that stupid? Really?" I never say that really. I might have said it before, like long ago.
well, I mean,
but I try not to
it's
say that.
okay when they do something stupid. Like
Yeah, people just feel the need
they
to
might
like,
not be stupid, but if they do something stupid, like what they did.
yeah,
is so
and even if
stupid.
you laugh, like if you're laughing, like saying like, "Oh my God, you're so dumb," like yeah, then I'll be like, I'll laugh too. But if somebody's like, "Are you that stupid?" Like looking at me like that, it's like, what is the point of that?
That's bad.
Yeah.
It burns so many more calories just to do that. You could literally sit there and just go, no, it's this and this. I get it. People get aggravated. I get that. But like,
Yeah.
literally going out of your way to call me stupid. Like I don't know, what's your guys' pet peeves like when it comes to that? Somebody says something to you like, what's your biggest
yeah.
thing?
Really don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of one to more keep it in, just like...
Well, like, if it does help, like, if it's, like, constructive feedback, like, I actually was doing something wrong and stupid, like, I would rather them say it, and, like, if it was in a mean way, like, that really isn't as bad, but if they, like, keep on doing it and once the thing was fixed and they bring it up again,
Yeah.
then that's where I have a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way with you. If I legitimately do something really dumb, like I could have avoided it, but my ego or something got in the way. That I understand. But I'm talking about if I just don't know something and I'm like, "What's this?" and then you gotta tear me down for it. Like that's so dumb. And you know something? I've seen that happen to you where people keep bringing it up, and I feel bad. Like I want to say something sometimes. Like it is kind of dumb that people keep bringing it up. Like
especially like other kids. Like
dude.
When like they do something stupid like 3 years ago when they were drunk and like they said something.
Like
and then literally they just get bullied for it still now. Like I get what they did was bad.
But like maybe people want to change. Maybe people don't want to do that anymore.
And
you know
like obviously they're not the same person they were because I mean everybody's constantly growing and changing.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, Matt, with like the leftovers thing, is that like a good example?
Yeah, I mean that's just kind of like it was like what was it? I got picked last for a team or something. Then it's like, I want to be called Matt? Like I prefer not to be called that, but I'm not gonna get mad if somebody calls me that. Okay. You know what I mean?
Especially joking.
Especially if it's people who were a part of that team when it happened, because they kind of came up with the joke. And even if somebody else said it, I don't care. It's dumb. It's from 7th grade. I don't care. It's not like it had anything to do with my really who I was as a person. It was just like So I don't care. If you said that to me, I'm not gonna get mad or anything.
What really bothers me is like I feel like with me like it's more of like an ego thing. Like if I do something right and they're like, oh, that's wrong, and then like I'm right afterwards and like they still call me stupid because like I managed to solve it, but like I didn't do it like I thought of a creative way to do it that was like outside the box, and like they just dismiss off of that way. Like that bothers me a lot.
No, I feel that.
So you just hate like conformity?
Well, I hate like when they say anything like when they negatively reinforce like conformity.
Okay.
Like getting shit for being out of the box, and like I would get it like if like I legitimately try and take a shortcut and then like it's wrong and bad, and like
which I
doing against that one time, like saying, oh, that was dumb, why did you do that? But like if it's complete denial or like just ignoring like non-conformist ideas on that basis, like that pisses me off.
Yeah, people have changed the world by doing stuff outside of the box. Like, you know what I mean?
And like literally, if you want to make millions investing, like
you
got to do it. Well, it's not thinking outside the box. You just have to invest in areas that will change the world, like and change parts of our daily lives.
And just you don't know it yet.
Like I mean, like mobile phones did that.
Oh God, no! Honestly, if I were
10 years ago, like people weren't like this.
Man, if I were back in like 15 years ago and I were whoever came up with the mobile phone, I would like who would have thought that like you could just put everything on this like one screen. You didn't need like a dial pad or anything. I would have thought you were insane.
Exactly.
Yeah, dude.
But like I wouldn't have said anything, but like I would just thought internally, dude, what the whoa.
And I mean like
look, we all got him. We all got him.
Exactly.
Like motherfucker. You know what I mean? So.
And I mean, like, I guess they had some idea of that, because, like, 10 years ago, my dad, like, when we first got, like, the Macs and, like, the iPads, and, like, when cloud computing was a thing, like, oh, everybody's gonna have these devices, and then most of the storage and, like, the internet's gonna be in some server somewhere, and it's just gonna communicate to your phone. So, like, cloud commuting, Though surprisingly, like 10 years ago, like this is a funny fact, but like if you wanted to be like a multi-millionaire now, like with $1,000, if you invested in a car rental company, Hertz, like you actually would have made more than if you invested in Amazon, Microsoft, or Apple.
Hertz?
Yeah, just a crappy rent-a-car company.
Freaking Hertz, dog.
Because like I don't know, I think it's like something to do with the financial crisis where they're like extremely low or something afterwards. And now they're like decent.
The 2008.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like that would have made sense because like people, like airports were really going up and people needed ways to get around. Yeah. Dang.
But like, I don't know if you answered the question at all. But like, do you have anything that just like, even if you do keep it inside, you don't say it. Like, is there anything that really just like I don't know, just makes you mad? No matter how small it is, I don't judge. I mean,
I feel like it's the same as you. Like repetition about the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Or, like when a friend or like a not an employer, but like a person who's above me in a job,
like an upperclassman or like somebody ahead of you almost.
In that sort of area,
somebody with more power than you.
Basically, so if one of those people is just like saying over and over again what I need to do, what I should avoid, like, I mean, you know the causes of this, right? And then they go into the causes. I hate that because that belittles me.
And it's condescending.
Yeah.
I think So I think that's my main thing, but that was what you were saying.
Yeah. It's just like
it's not anything different.
Yeah, I guess mine was more specifically just like, I mean, it kind of is the same thing. Mine was more just like in general, like just intelligence-wise. Like yeah, we all do stupid shit. I get it. Sometimes I say a little bit more stupid stuff than other people do. I don't do it intentionally.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm just like, oh wait, did you mean this and this? And they'll be like, what? No. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then when I get mad, I'm the asshole. Like, you know what I mean? Because then I get really mad and people are like, you need to chill out. It's like, dude, well,
Yeah, they're being too
So it's like the
sensitive.
same thing as me, but like with the caveat that it's based off of your like previous person, like who you were previously.
I mean, I guess, yeah. Like, I don't know. I try to think about what I say more. Sometimes stuff just comes out.
Yeah.
It's not like I just say random shit either. I think, I don't know. And I don't call them out on anything. It's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
you know.
And I guess like with me, it's not really stuff that's like a pet peeve. It's just more stuff that gets me disappointed in people.
I mean, yeah.
Like people that are like fake and like they say that you're a friend and like they'll just talk bad about you behind your back. Like just people being fake in general. Like, and I know so many people complain about it, but like they're just as bad.
Yeah. And you know something
And like
I
that's
think,
more
yeah.
universal.
Sorry, I was about to.
No, go ahead, man.
No, I was just gonna say that I like what you said the one time. I think it was on your Snapchat story. I said it to you before. Where like, if you can't say anything, if you can't name any flaws about your friends, you're not actually friends with them. So that's like the flip side. It's like it's not just talking shit. It's knowing your friends have flaws,
Yeah.
but you love them anyway. So
Yeah.
like,
And also like allowing your friends to see your flaws, like that you
Yeah.
actually know.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of think that way too. And I'm not saying like, oh, that means I talk shit about all my friends. That's
Yeah.
not true. Jackson and I were talking about it. He goes, I think it's healthy when you say things that somebody, like your friend did something that really pissed you off and you talk about it to other people. That's not talking shit. But people nowadays, they categorize all of it as shit talking.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's different. It's different.
I feel like
You know
there's
what I mean?
open criticism. And then I feel like shit talking is like not willing to say that. Like there's like, oh, did you have a problem? And like you actually did, but like you didn't want to confront them.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna talk about it behind their back. And I think like the shit talking is really bad when people use it for like personal gain, like in a social situation.
Oh, yeah. That's just.
Like that's my main like thing. Like if somebody's like, okay, I'll cut down a friend, somebody that I was friends with, somebody that gave me the attention, and like that bothered to talk to me, and then I'm just gonna talk bad and cut them down behind their back, like to use them, like that, like in
That is
that,
fucked
in
up.
my opinion, that like lowers them
Yeah.
a whole step.
I love how you're just jamming over here. Like, you're just like.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I've just got 2 drumsticks just banging out in there with your friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that.
Because, like, I feel like that's like a viewpoint type of thing. Where, like, in high school, like, yes, I knew all 132 people in my class. But, like, with the true friends that I hang out with, like, I knew what they were good and not good at. Whereas, like, a person that I just talked to once in a while or saw in a class, I just had like I had a
Yeah.
wider view on them, just thinking, oh, they're this type of person or this category of person.
And also like, I feel like going on that, like sometimes like the more you get to know a person, it's like the less objectively you could like evaluate them, because like your feelings start to get in the way of how you think to them, like to some degree.
I could see that because
And,
like good.
I feel like this primarily happens like I guess in more romantic relationships. Like girls are kind of shit at judging like the guy's morality based on that. Like I've seen like a lot of girls like.
I'm kind of confused.
No,
like-
no. It's just explain. 'Cause I'm
Yeah.
just like,
Well, I feel like this happens with both guys. Like they're like, oh, this person's so good, and like that's really because they want them to be. So like what they want them to be, like they confuse for what they are.
Oh yeah. So like you have a romanticized view of the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
no-
feel like that happens in all degrees with all friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have those days, or they're just bad days. But when I have bad days, my whole mindset about everything changes. Like, I'm like, oh yeah. Well, I don't say fuck my friends, but like, when I have a bad day, I start rethinking everything. That's why I can't be alone in my house for too long.
Oh yeah.
You think too much.
Yeah.
And I start overthinking shit. I'm like, should I be friends with these people? And it's really dangerous. And then when I hang out with them, I'm like, no, this is why I'm friends with them. They're good people.
Yeah.
Like, what I was thinking before, because like me, I can just, it's not like a bipolar type thing, but my mood can change like within like, I don't know. But for me, I realize like at the end of the day, it's just like,
And I feel like that's the difference between introverted and extrovert. Like extroverts, like when they're taken away from their friends and people, like they start to like overthink things and like
Yeah.
kind of lose themselves. So it's like they need to reboot when they're with their friends, sort of.
yeah. And it's not even a whole like, I need people in my life to feel happy, or I need friends
Yeah,
to feel happy.
That's
It's
just
not
like
even,
a synth thing.
yeah, it's, huh?
Well, that's
It's
a
not
synth
a
thing if you
synth
need it.
thing.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying like, it's not even that. It's just like, I love being with my friends. Like I
Yeah.
love being around
Yeah, that's
people. I
why
love
they're
talking
friends.
to. Yeah, it's just like I genuinely love like just laughing.
Yeah.
Like doesn't matter
And you
what
miss
it is.
the fun times.
I do. Yeah, I like that. and it's just like, you know.
Yeah. I mean, overthinking why someone's your friend I think that's like one of the greatest dangers of loneliness, because like in the end, your friends aren't perfect, and we know that, but like they're your friends because like as we said, you know their imperfections, and B, like they're not perfect. Like I never want to be friends with the most perfect, like valedictorian, like fastest person in the grade.
Yeah.
I want to be friends with someone that I can just talk shit with and dog on for random ass shit.
Yeah, dude. Like, but I don't know. It's a lot of different shit. I mean, I don't know. And then, it's like I won't hang out with friends for a while, and then I start to get used to it, and then I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna be alone or whatever. And then once I actually do go out and hang out with friends, I'm like, why aren't I doing this more often? Like, I need to do this more. This is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's a balance you have to get with that.
Yeah, man.
Like, because if you're too attached to your friends and you're with them every day, you're basically just living with them.
Yeah, I'm trying to work on that.
Or there's like people that like constrict themselves to having like one best friend. I mean,
that's weird.
Yeah.
That's just really weird.
Exactly. Like it's one person that you're constantly with like 24/7.
No offense to any of you out there that have one friend, but like, no offense, but that's fucking weird.
Like, that's like putting all your eggs in the basket.
It just depends on, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's just like if you can make one friend, you can make more. There's no way you can just have. I'll only have this friend. You might only have that friend, but if you can make one friend, you can make more. Like, you know what I mean? So it's
like
just
something can happen once, it can happen again.
And I personally I feel blessed that I have different friend groups.
Yeah.
Because like you can talk about certain, like different stuff with different ones. Like with my like friend group, my Xbox friend group, I can talk about sports and the video games that we play. With you guys, I can talk about life and generally anything.
Yeah.
And then with my college best friends, we can talk about college and again life and stuff.
Yeah, dude. No, I feel that way. I mean, it's just the senses of humor, the styles of humor are different. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? This is a lot more like just the dumbest shit you can think of, right? Like it's just funny and like more memes like related stuff, or like just our music taste and like laughing at certain songs, whatever. Some of my other friends, it's more like not stupid stuff. It's jokes that make sense and like they're funny, but they're not like the dumbest shit you can think of. Like, oh, would you rather be a dildo salesman, whatever? We find that funny. Some of my other friends would just be like, what the fuck? But then if I like, you know,
if you like kind of switch your personality a little bit and then.
Yeah, I mean,
I think that just makes you a well-rounded person.
Yeah.
Because we all have different aspects of our personalities,
I mean, even
humor or anything.
Like with political like viewpoints, it's like more diverse opinions. Like when I know like at camp, like I would go down to like Pennsylvania, like and you can see the back of all the rednecks and like.
Is that what it's actually called?
Well, that's slang for it.
Pennsylvania.
I mean, that's basically northern Pennsylvania in a nutshell, and Allegheny County.
Oh shit! Okay, I thought you were saying like Kentucky.
Yeah.
It's like kind of like, never mind. But go on.
It's like the redneck backwoods where it's like super red in a way, and like compared to like here where it's like more blue and like there's more liberal.
Damn blue,
Though you do hear some pretty screwed up racial slurs there.
Yeah.
You do hear some pretty screwed up racial slurs there.
Dude, that sounded like a higher pitched Joe right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Peter.
Hey Peter.
You're speaking my ancient dialect. He just gets really silent. But I don't know. It's just like,
you know, on that thing, you know, man, we're gonna go. I want to go from like something more serious to like something more like lighthearted shit. Like, I've always thought of like what like I've so like I've always wanted to like in my heart be like a voice actor.
Yeah. Like
that, it'd just be so cool to just go in a sound studio and say like, "Hey Peter, what you want for what are you looking at my wife's feet for?"
Hey Peter. Oh god.
And just like do a bunch of different like voices for a bunch of different people.
Oh god, yeah. Probably kills your voice though for some voices. Like
oh yeah. Like they'll do like 2 or 3 hour like just straight one voice. Like for lower voices, like for all those like
any voice actors. They're literally they just screaming.
Oh god.
Yeah, and I've watched the show, so I'm not just stereotyping it, but like some of them I've seen interviews, they're just like, yeah, like I hurt. I am hurt. I hurt.
I hurt, brother.
I hurt. Yeah. I can see that. But,
like, I mean, that goes back to the thing again. Like, it's a passion, but like you know the consequences of it.
Yeah. So
like I would take those consequences.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I feel like killing your throat is like I feel like that's a given if you're gonna get ahead in life. Like, you know, trying to get that promotion.
Yeah,
I
this.
feel like that's gonna wreck your
You
throat.
measure
as
how
bad
hard
as
you
that.
work by like the killing of your throat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh, man.
But I don't know. I mean, what would you guys voice act? Like what animation or show or whatever?
Well, I'm a baritone bass, so I'd likely do a side person like.
Oh.
Oh wait, you want like a specific character we wish we could voice act?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh shit. All right, so I'm a big Naruto fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I've watched them all. I played all the games
So
that I
many
can.
episodes. I don't get it.
No, just okay. Look up on Wikipedia like the difference between like the main and the filler. That'll eliminate.
That makes sense
Just
because
don't watch
like
the filler.
the ones that I've seen, the filler's like 300 some episodes. Then when they actually cut it down to the canon, it's like maybe 100. So
Huh.
like I've seen it.
Well, there's the shonen where there's 220, and then Shippuden is like 500, but then you can split that out really easily.
Ship it in. 500. 500.
Damn.
And then that includes the movies too.
Man. So honestly, the movies are like sometimes so much better than the actual episodes. Like the little
Yeah.
40-minute
Yeah.
movies that have come out that at least for Dragon
Like the
Ball, they had like
specials.
little 4-minute. Yeah. Like,
Because like I think the thing with that though, at least like in the mid to late 2000s, is like they put a lot more of the animation into it. So like you'd get a lot more like actual motions of people doing stuff.
yeah, and the soundtracks I've like seen are better.
Yeah.
Like there was like this heavy metal soundtrack for this really badass fight scene,
That's
and I listened to those songs. Like they're actually good. Like yeah, they're a bit heavier, but oh my god, it literally gives me shivers. They mix so well, but they don't have any of that in the TV show. They got like
They've got like the stereotypical like 10 soundtrack, like 10 songs to play in an episode every episode.
yeah, dude. It's just like
Well, I mean, like the movies have such a higher budget for it.
I mean yeah.
And like with the shows, like you have to put, presumably back when they did it, they had to put out like one every week.
Oh,
And so they had to focus more on like getting
like
the
on
story done.
deadline, yeah.
Yeah. But okay, back to the who would I voice act? I don't know, like Sasuke or Shino
Yeah.
from like just the angst of Sasuke, and then Shino just being like he has his like mouth covered and he can just like I don't know what I want for you, or like something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel you. Do you have anything that you want to voice act?
Yeah, I don't think I want to voice that.
Hey, what about it?
Like my voice sounds really different, like in my head than it is in reality.
Yeah. No, I get that because like
Yeah.
I've always thought like, because like you know how a lot of like musicians, like popular artists are like they can sing really high.
Yeah.
As a kid, I thought I had that. I didn't.
I didn't.
I just like
That's pretty good.
Well, okay, but like I had to go into like my head voice and all that. Music. No. Wraps it up.
Yeah.
Again, thank you to anybody who's listening to this.
Still, yeah.
What'd you say?
Still.
Yeah, if you're listening to this still, fucking go on, go nuts.
Give yourself a gold star.
Or we'll give you a gold star.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Just send us a message. We'll drive to your house and give you a gold star.
Yeah.
we'll give you a fucking metaphorical gold star.
Nah, I think we should give them a literal gold star.
Like we just go to their house, we got gold star stickers.
3 and shit.
Dude, the potty
The
chart.
potty chart, bro.
I didn't have one of those, but like I had something similar to that.
Yeah. Kevin.
Wait,
knows
this is
that.
the end of it.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to end it?
This.
I think we are.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna end it.
All
Thank you
right,
for
yeah.
listening, and adios.
Adios.